Greetings, programs. I see no reason to bandy about. We're going to talk about these today. I did an unboxing of them a couple of days ago, and I've had a chance to play with them. Just in case we didn't catch the unboxing and didn't read the title, these are the Plantronics Backbeat Pro Bluetooth wireless headphones. And I got them primarily because I was really terrified about ruining the wonderful over-the-ear cans that I've been using for several years now. These darling little things here. These are a set of Sennheiser's wonderful, oh, so comfortable over-the-ear cans that I've had for a really long time. I've listened to I don't know how many hours of music on these things and taken them on I don't know how many flights and trips and yada yada yada. And Sennheiser makes some fantastic kit just in general. The bar d'excellence is set pretty high when it comes to price to quality, where Sennheiser stuff is concerned. I think those were something like $100 when I got them, which is not a bad price for good quality over-the-ear cans that produce. Problem is, the cords on those aren't particularly long, and I know that some of you are thinking, Steve, you could just go get a 3.5mm patch cord for those things and solve that problem, but I get up and down from my desk an awful lot of work, and I don't have to worry about jerking cords around or adding yet another cord to my desk, and so finally, on the advice of a coworker of mine, thank you, Justin, I went ahead and investigated these Plantronics headphones that are over here in that pretty purple box that we went over a couple of days ago. And the primary reason why I investigated them was A, no cord, which is, you don't know how awesome it is until you work in an environment like mine. One extra cord on your desk is money. B, you can tether these to multiple Bluetooth sources. That might not seem like a deal breaker for most people that just have a Bluetooth headset synced up to their computer or their tablet or their phone. I have a headset constantly synced up on a daily basis to a computer and a tablet and a phone. So rather than having to jockey 3 different pairs of headphones around or take one pair of headphones and unplug it from one thing and then plug it into another and then plug it into another, because that's not a pain in the ass, I opted to get these Plantronics headphones instead, because one of their features is alleged to be their ability to pair to multiple sources. Which, if it turns out that was true, would be one of the great holy grails that I was looking for in my office. I would be able to seamlessly roll from listening to music on my computer to getting onto a digital teleconference call, which we do all of that on our computers. And then if my phone rang, or I got a text message or some other kind of audio alert, that alert would be routed to these headphones as well, and all of the volume for the different things would be managed, and it would just be divine. That was the claim, along with support for the Bluetooth aptX stack for truly high-definition audio, which is something that I've always been just a little bit scared of. Yeah, are they any good? Yep. For the feature set that these headphones bring, they are absolutely worth the price. More on that after the jump. My wife, God rest her soul, has been listening to me bitch about wanting to order these headphones for a long time now, and for the record, she hasn't been standing in the way of me doing this in any capacity whatsoever. I'm just a schmuck. Yes, absolutely. These headphones aren't without their small bugaboos. And they do come with a small list of caveats, which I will extol to you in time. But yes, for the feature set that these things brings to the table, these things normally retail online out of Plantronics' site for about $250. If you're patient and if you're careful, you can hunt them up on the interwebs for almost $100 less than that. I pulled these down for about $160 from Amazon with Prime shipping. And they're worth every penny. $160 might seem like a whole lot of money for a pair of headphones when, people are getting hands-free kits and stuff like that included in the purchases of phones and tablets and even some laptops these days. I admit Sorry, network storage was rebooting. I admit wholeheartedly that I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to audio, so I didn't just want a regular old crap pair of headphones, which is one of the reasons why I've got those outstanding Sennheisers that I showed you earlier in the video. And I didn't want to take the leap, for those of you who do production work out there. Justin, I'm looking at you. Different Justin down in Texas. I'm absolutely aware of the fact that studio monitors are phenomenal over the ear cans. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole yet because I wasn't comfortable purchasing a sub $200 pair of studio monitors, and I just didn't know enough about them. But yeah, these Plantronics headphones are fantastic. Can you jockey between multiple sources, multiple Bluetooth sources with them? Yes, you absolutely can. That's telling. My rig at work is a Windows 7 machine. I won't go into a whole lot more detail about it than that for professional reasons. But I do run Windows 7 on a laptop at work, and there is a Bluetooth transceiver inside of there. Windows, here comes the first foible. Windows is horrible about handling Bluetooth. It's absolutely the worst. Solid-state Bluetooth devices don't do too terribly badly, but Bluetooth as a technology and the things that you can do with Bluetooth have evolved a great deal. And Windows, God bless them, they're just not keeping up. Things may be better in Windows 8 and Windows 10, but based on the things that I have read online, I see no reason to believe that. When you hook these wonderful things up to Windows, assuming you have a Bluetooth transceiver in your computer, Windows detects them as not just one device, but two. It detects them as a set of wireless Bluetooth headphones, cool, but it also detects them as a wireless Bluetooth communications device. This becomes problematic because generally Windows only likes to source input and output through one device at a time, unless you have a just dedicated microphone. If you've got something that's a quote-unquote dedicated microphone, it only wants to source input through that. And if you've got something that's dedicated headphones, it only wants to... Really? It only wants to source output through that. So tricking Windows into sourcing both input and output through multiple audio sources is... it can be done, but your results may vary. Be patient. Windows is absolutely capable of doing it. You just need to jigger with it a little bit to figure out how. Something else that is a stumbling block for some folks, not all Windows 7 rigs, or indeed not all Bluetooth adapters that are built into computers these days support the aptX high-def functionality for really, really good, really crisp high-def audio over Bluetooth. Good news is, as I said in my unboxing, Google, I think it's like the Google Harmony aptX stack that you can install for free on your computer to take care of that problem. If you know anything about Bluetooth audio or high-fidelity music at all, everything that I've just said to you will make sense. If you don't, then you can just completely ignore all the shit that I was just talking about. As far as the size and the comfort level of these headphones is concerned, my Sennheisers, I have a fat head. I have a fat head, and I'm not just talking around the circumference of my head is big. I only know one other guy who's got a bigger head than I do, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah, I have a big head. My Sennheisers, nonetheless, I don't think I have these pulled out all the way. These are set up for fitting me right now, and I don't think... Never mind. These are absolutely pulled out all the way. Forget everything that I just said. I have a fat head. I have to pull my Sennheisers out all the way in order for them to be comfortable on me. I have to do the same thing with my Plantronics headphones. So, stupid network storage. So, no surprises there. The headphones are the Plantronics headphones are big and sturdy, and because of all the guts that are inside the two sides of the can, they are a little heavy. So the daintier people that are that think you might be running into problems carrying something that heavy around on your head, it's really not prohibitive. They support their weight relatively well, and they don't squeeze on your head too hard, but that's just me, and I've been told that I'm a blunt instrument by more than one person. So if you can find somebody who's got a pair of these, and you can try them on beforehand. I really, really strongly suggest that you do. I like the fact that they squeeze on my head really well without putting too much pressure on my skull. I don't end up with weird marks on my head. I don't end up with headaches, and I have absolutely used certain headphones that you have that problem. I think that their weight is more than acceptable for all the functionality that's built into them. As far as audio fidelity goes, extraordinarily good high, extraordinarily good mid-range, extraordinarily good low range. I will go ahead and caution anybody who buys these things, and I guess that this is cool for all the young people these days, but again, I'm a little bit of an audio snob. I prefer well-balanced, well-mixed music with clean and clear highs, mids, and lows, and bass that is present but not overwhelming. These headphones are not for you. not vanilla anyway, not on their own. The highs and the mids are wonderful. They really, really are. Listened to lots of Pink Floyd and lots of music. Richard Kapp's Greatest Hits of 1720 is a wonderful album with lots of different classical music with a good wide range. And between those two albums, those are kind of my de facto listening albums when I'm measuring audio devices. Dark Side of the Moon and Richard Kapp's Greatest Hits of 1720. Thank you, Aunt Robin. The highs and mids, the lows, they're all very, very good. The headphones are very bassy, though. Very bassy. To the point that certain songs that aren't mixed particularly well, that have a lot of heavy bass, they're almost hard to listen to. And that's as much a problem of the device as it is the way that the music was mixed. You can get graphic equalizer programs for free off the internet that'll fix the problem for you. It's a small price to pay for the audio quality that these things give you. I know that just the wireless aspect of them, the first time that I turned around in my chair and reached for something without my head going and being pulled back in the other direction was gleeful. Very, very nice being able to take that kind of audio with me. So that was great. Range on the Bluetooth is fantastic, especially in a cube farm. I work in a place with lots of other wireless devices that are kicking around the air the whole time and really didn't have any problems with pops or hisses or whistles or interference of any kind. Very easy to set up. Pairing is very easy to set up. The instructions are clear and concise and in like 40 different languages. So setting the devices up and using the device, not a problem at all. Not a complicated device to use. Charging doesn't take very long at all. It's all done through a standard micro USB port in the left can. Very, very cool. Lots of neat features. Noise canceling. The noise canceling feature on these headphones, they do have microphones on them, both for telecommunications, for like conferences and stuff, but also for active noise canceling. A and C, and there's a toggle on the back of the left can for that as well. Noise canceling is effective for static noises, like if a person is sitting in the middle of a server farm, or if a person is riding a subway or something like that. As far as canceling the overall environment goes, I find that that it doesn't do quite as well. But I did have somebody try these headphones on at work, and they were quite shocked about the fact that when they turned noise canceling on, they couldn't hear themselves talking anymore, which I think that's kind of cool. One of the other neat features that these headphones have, if you're in a room where you frequently have to be listening to things and you don't want to keep taking your headphones on and off because you're a lazy slug, or if you're riding a subway where you'd like to listen to your music, but you also want to be aware of what's going on outside of you, there's a button at the bottom of the right can which turns the noise-canceling microphones into just flat-out microphones, and all of the noise from the outside world is piped in to your cans. And using a companion piece of software that you can download from the Plantronics website, which you should absolutely do for reasons that I will cover here in just a minute. I swear it should be done now. The software you can download from the Plantronics website. It's like Update My Headset or something like that. Very, very easy to use. But you can set using that software. Not only do these things have firmware on them that you can update with this software when there are bugs that they want to fix, which is very cool. Responsible for all the technology that's inside of them. Not only can you do firmware updates, but you can set the level at which your music is muted when you turn this option on to let noise from the outside world in. Say you're in some kind of a conference where you're listening to music on them, but you also want to listen to what's going on outside. You can tell it whenever you trigger this thing, it mutes the audio coming from your computer down to a level of about 50% and lets the outside world in at about 100. It's really good for both listening to the music and kind of keeping track of things at the same time. Neat feature, very, very handy. Controls that are on the headset, call control and volume are on the right can. Press and hold will activate Siri if you're using an iPhone. These headphones are just slightly more iPhone friendly, simply because Android doesn't have quite as easily accessible a personal assistant. Siri's baked into the iPhone a little bit more robustly. I'm not saying that Siri is better. So yeah, call control, take calls, end calls, press and hold will trigger Siri again, good for iPhone users. There is a textured ring around the outside of the can that you can grip with your fingers and twist one way or the other. Let's see if we can see that ring. Yeah, you can kind of see that textured ring. Right. Yeah, this is useless, Steve. Bink, right there. That textured ring. You can grab a hold of that. That's volume up, volume down in the right can. On the left can has another textured ring. Twisting it forward skips the song forward. Twisting it back skips the song back. The main button that's over the majority of the can is play and pause. And that's also where your active noise canceling is. And you have your micro jack for plugging your device into charge or for doing firmware updates. And you also have a 3.5 millimeter mini pin jack in case your device is dead and you still want to use it with your computer or with your cell phone or whatever. That's where that jack goes. I covered those components in my unboxing video if you're curious about them. The one thing that I would caution people about with these headphones is that you don't misunderstand where the failings of the headphones end and where the failings of the computer or the device that you're trying to interface with them begin. Windows, for instance, has a very, very bad problem with automatically reconnecting to devices. Your cell phone, as soon as you get within range, your cell phone's going to automatically connect to these devices. That's just going to happen. It's the way that the guts of the cell phone are programmed to behave. Your computer, not so much so. I have to manually tell my computer to go and reconnect to these headphones every morning when I come in. When I come into work. Some people's Bluetooth adapters might not be that way. They might have better controls. Some might not. So your experience will vary. This is a relatively newish product, so Plantronics is still absolutely issuing updates for them. They do seem to interface with Mac a little bit better than they do PC, simply because Apple recognizes these as a single multimedia device rather than trying to jockey between two different devices. So for what that's worth. That having been said, on the other end of the spectrum, my device works now exactly the way I want it to with my Windows computer, having jockeyed with it and configured it. My buddy at work who uses his with his Mac, he's still waiting on a firmware update to fix a bug. So pros and cons on both sides of the spectrum. These are definitely a higher tech device, so unless you're just wanting a nice pair of Bluetooth headphones, wireless headphones, I wouldn't expect the advanced features to work unless you're willing to kind of help them along a little bit. One of the other advanced features that these things support is there are gyros and accelerometers on the inside of them that when you take the headphones off of your head, they will pause whatever music is playing. And when you put them back onto your head, they will play whatever music is playing. Now, this sounds neat in theory. The problem is, for your computer anyway, when you take your headphones off, the headphones make a call to Windows that says, I want to stop playing music. I am sending a command to the multimedia program of choice. I want to stop playing music. Windows, in turn, goes, oh, well, the multimedia program of choice for us is Windows Media Player. And so we'll launch Windows Media Player and then pause whatever. Well, I don't know anybody who keeps the majority of their music on their hard drive anymore. And if they do, who uses Windows Media Player? So for some people, this might not be a problem. But for other people, like myself, who take their music in through online sources like Pandora or Google Play Music or YouTube Red, this feature is utterly useless. It is so utterly useless that I got in using that Plantronics program that you can download from the Plantronics website that I mentioned earlier, and I disabled those smart sensors because it was such a pain in the butt every single time I went meh like that to lower my headphones that Windows Media Player was pulled up on my computer. Works the exact same way on a Mac, except it goes and it grabs iTunes. Frustrating. Hopefully they'll update that feature in the future. Not a huge blow to disable that in terms of losing a giant bit of value from the device, but it is there and it is present. It's a far handier feature if you're not using these things with your computer, if you're just using them with a phone. If you're just using it with a phone, it is slick as hell because of the way that cell phones handle requests for media control. With cell phones, whatever happens to be pushing media to your speakers is declared as the foreground media device. So it doesn't matter what it is, with Android or iOS. If it happens to be the device that's currently playing music and that's currently registered in memory, when you take your headphones off, the call to play or pause is going to the operating system, and the operating system is making an intelligent choice on mobile devices. Not so much with the computers, which is both hilarious and frustrating at the same time. Yeah, not at all disappointed with this purchase. The headphones feel strong, they feel robust, they feel very well built. None of the plastics feel chintzy at all. I was worried about the padding in the headrest, the head support that goes over the top of my head. This is a hard stubble here. Because of me shaving my head, I was worried that I was going to eat it away. But after years and years, my Sennheisers are still fine, and if anything, the plastic on these Plantronics headsets that's serving as padding feels even more robust. There's obviously good metal running through the head support and connecting the cans. You can clearly see that. It's very, very strong. Everything just feels like a good, high-quality product, except the mechanical switches that control the two big buttons on either side of the headset, the call on the right side and the play and pause on the left. The mechanical switches that control those feel just a little bit chintzy. If anything on this headset fails, I won't even say immediately, I'll say eventually. If anything on this headset fails eventually, I'm going to put solid money that it's those that go first rather than any of the other components. All in all, absolutely worth the money, especially if you're a nerd who wants that multiple device functionality. Absolutely worth every penny that I paid for these things. If you just want an absolutely rock solid set of neat, functional wireless headphones for your cell phone or for your tablet, again, worth every penny. If you're not a snob and you don't care about wires, go buy yourself a $60 pair of Sennheisers. Klipsch makes a wonderful pair of earbuds that my wife we use until she wore them out. That are absolutely wonderful. There are other choices for you, but yeah, this is a good kit. You should try it out.